Hey guys, it's August. Today I am in St. Louis, Missouri at the Bellefontaine Cemetery. Gonna check out a few very famous graves out here. I'm not gonna check out every single famous grave because there's way too many of those. But I'm gonna start out over here. I was just driving and noticed this one over here, and I'll cut to it. So over here is the grave of Rush Limbaugh. He was a very famous, what would you call him, like a news, he wasn't really a news reporter. I don't know exactly what you'd call him. Radio host, I guess. Yeah, that's probably right. Radio star, television, not television, but radio host. He died of cancer this year. Earlier this year. I realized that the back of his stone actually has an inscription on it. It says, "Radio's greatest of all time, Medal of Freedom recipient." He was just awarded that by Trump last year. It says, "Our country is a miracle. May we always hold true to the fundamental values of our founding, and may our best days be ahead." Tried looking on Find a Grave to see if maybe this was a famous person or famous people in here in this tomb. I don't believe it is. Super pretty. Gorgeous mausoleum, wow. Look at the floor. And there's a stained glass mural of Jesus up at the top. If I can get it to focus. I'm trying. There we go. Beautiful mausoleum. There's a couple other graves over here to the side. And on the other side as well. It's a shame. I wish that when they did groundskeeping at cemeteries, and this goes for every cemetery out there, I wish they would do a favor and wipe off the stones when they're done. But unfortunately, most of the time they don't. I won't get out of my car for this one, but just thought that this was gorgeous. All right, right here we got the grave of William Clark of Lewis and Clark, one of the two amazing explorers that went off to the land that Thomas Jefferson had purchased in the Louisiana Purchase. He explored the land to see what Thomas Jefferson had just bought. Absolutely insane. This is a very tall monument, probably 50 feet. William Clark received his commission as lieutenant from George Washington in 1791. He was appointed brigadier general by Thomas Jefferson in 1807 and reappointed as such by James Madison in 1811. He was made governor of Missouri Territory by this president in 1813 and recommissioned twice by him, being again appointed governor by James Monroe in 1820, who also made him superintendent of Indian affairs in 1822. His great fame as an explorer was won on the expedition of 1804, 5 and 6. Massive, beautiful monument over here. This entire monument is gorgeous. His whole family plot, amazing. Oldest son of General William Clark, the explorer. There's a little Civil War marker because he was general in the Civil War. Absolutely amazing. Stunning piece of American history right here, folks. So here is the Bush Mausoleum with Adolphus Bush, or Adolphus Bush, and I think his wife are both buried in here. They, interestingly enough, are in the ground in the mausoleum. I say that's interesting because I think most mausoleums that you typically see, they're interred like in the walls. But no, this is just a pretty hollow mausoleum. They're both in the ground. Beautiful stained glass portraits. If you're a beer fan, Adolphus Bush, the Bush Brewing Company, which ended up becoming Anheuser-Busch. Beautiful mausoleum, amazing history. And my last stop out here, which was actually my first stop when I first got here, but my last stop in the video, is going to be the family plot of William S. Burroughs, the inventor. He invented the adding machine, which was basically, you know, a calculator, big calculator for banks. And he also had a patent for the electric alarm clock. He is entombed right here. I guess interred, not really entombed. But as I said, this is his whole family's plot. And this is, right here, his grandson, William Seward Burroughs, who we'll get to in a second. And then this is William Seward Burroughs' son, who was the great-grandson of William S. Burroughs. So this guy right here has quite the story himself. He is buried right here. And actually, before the video, I placed this nickel on his grave. But this is the grave of author William S. Burroughs, born February the 5th, 1914, died August the 2nd, 1997. He wrote Naked Lunch, which ended up becoming a movie. And then he also wrote Queer. Can't remember, there's another big one that I thought he wrote. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But he also wrote a lot of poems. And he had a very controversial life. He did heroin for much of his life. Even up until he died, he was doing heroin. He stopped very briefly in the 70s, and then his son, whose name, you know, you saw on the back of the pillar, died, and he got back into heroin. Most controversially, though, he shot his wife in the head in Mexico City, Mexico. And it was an accident. What had happened was he was playing one of those games where you shoot, you know, bottles off of people's heads, and he was like drunk, and he tried shooting a bottle off of his wife's head and very clearly missed and shot her. When he got back to the States, if I remember correctly, I think he was charged for it. I think the only thing that happened, though, was time served. I don't quite remember. But he was a very amazing author, very amazing poet. And in late 1992, Kurt Cobain from the band Nirvana, I'm a very big Kurt Cobain fan, reached out to William S. Burroughs about a collaboration. So William S. Burroughs had a poem that he wrote called The Priest, they called him, and he recorded that at his house in Lawrence, Kansas. And Kurt Cobain had he wanted to record the guitar part, so he went to Barrett Jones' studio. Barrett Jones did stuff with Dave Grohl while Dave was in Nirvana, and he went to Barrett Jones' studio and recorded the guitar part. So you can find it online. It's called The Priest, they called him. And yeah, he ended up dying in 1997 in Lawrence at his house, and was buried out here in St. Louis. An amazing author and amazing poet. And I mean, my biggest thing that he did that I really liked was The Priest, they called him, because I'm, like I said, a big Kurt Cobain fan. And I'm also a fan of some of William S. Burroughs' other work. You can find it on YouTube. He did a lot of really good stuff. And he had a great voice for it, too. He was great at speaking. Alright guys, I'm going to get out of here, but thanks for watching. I'm really sorry I couldn't go through a lot of the cemetery. There's over 84,000 burials out here, so, and there's a lot of famous people too. It's hard to hit on all the famous people that are out here, but I will come back here another time in the future, and I will do another video. But if you like this, please subscribe, please share it with your friends and family. And if I was wrong on anything, please feel free to comment and correct me. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.